anybody else is. Everybody else is out playing in the snow. Everybody was playing in the snow.
Snow all over the world today.
Yeah, except for here. We don't get snow.
I'm okay with that.
Me too.
I just wanted to look at it
Nope.
for like a day. And tomorrow I want it to be like 75. You know, and sunny. That's about what I want. We got 11 folks on here right now. If you're on here, tell us where you're from. Send us pictures of your mom, something like that.
We are in a little different area
Yeah, we're
of the Dragon Slayer Industries compound. It's just too damn cold out in the shop today. It's not sub-zero or anything, but the Texans.
It's zero, not sub-zero, but zero.
Yeah,
It's too cold for us.
Yep.
Yeah,
We didn't want to fight it, so
we didn't want y'all hearing our teeth chattering. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of being cold as shit. So yeah, I'm glad we moved it in here, and I got that heater. We do it in my shop. Again, gonna be cold.
Right.
I'm gonna have Wi-Fi, so sometimes the signal sucks. It's kind of shitting shit today too, anyway. So
yeah. And but one of the things with that is, as you can see from the cameras, we don't have the big monitor to read y'all's comments. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to read comments at all on my. I don't know where they're going to show up on my side.
is it that? I almost touched it like it's a touchscreen.
I tried to click that a minute ago and just a bunch
You can
of.
leave yourself a fucking.
User Racing Ricky said, "What's up, y'all? Go number 55 on TikTok."
Yeah, so that's. I'm not seeing comments.
What's up there,
on my
Dale?
side. Let me see what I can do about it.
Yeah, that is weird. You don't know snow. Snow Grove, 10 miles, we had 12 inches over a week, so 9 degrees. Now, I do know a little bit about snow there, Craig, because I've done ice racing in Wisconsin. So I've been around a little bit of snow. The last time I was up there, they had so much snow that the lake wouldn't freeze over, which I didn't know was a thing. But Dale said the sound isn't that loud. Let me keep checking here. We're constantly fighting that issue.
For whatever reason, my phone without any microphone seems to kind of do okay.
Well, mine, I blew the charger
Right.
cord out on that one time, and then I blew the mic out because I'm an idiot. So that one, and that's like my backup phone. My other one's still getting repaired, or it's been repaired, but Jesse hasn't called him and got it took care of because he sent his off at the same time. So letting him take care of it, pretty much.
So there, here we go. I
Yeah.
can see something
Yeah,
now.
there you go. Well, Racing Ricky's on there.
What's up? Go number 55.
Yeah. Like Dale said, he said the sound wasn't that loud. So if you can't hear us, or you can hear one of us louder than the other one, or whatever, let us know.
Yeah.
That way we can get it all fingered out there, because we've got no way of knowing that. We're really winging it. We're really winging it.
This is, there's high dollar operations, and then on the opposite end of that spectrum, there's this.
Yeah, here we are. Yeah, we've only been doing this for like 3 months, and we still haven't really upgraded barely any.
Yeah.
If anything, some stuff has gotten worse. But,
Right.
a lot like my whole racing operation.
Steadily downhill. But we have fun at it. We hope y'all do too.
Yeah.
You went to the Chili Bowl.
Yeah. Well, so we didn't do this last week. I think me and you both were feeling a little under the weather.
Yeah.
So we didn't do it last week, and I ended up feeling a little better. My buddy Owen Pittman with Big O Sign, South Texas Race Ranch, and 317 Awards. He called me and he was like, "Hey, you going to the Chili Bowl?" And I was like, "Well, I wasn't planning on it." He said, "Well, I am." He said, "I got to go up there Wednesday and deliver a trophy to the guys at Twisted Tech for the iRacing rigs they got set up over there." And I was like, hell, I'll go, you know. So he swung by and picked me up. We went up there and watched Wednesday night racing and went to the casino and came back the next day. It was pretty damn good racing, you know. And there's a lot of people there. I don't think I've been on a Wednesday night. There was a lot of people there.
That's crazy. I'm gonna go one of these days. I'm gonna make it up there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I kind of prefer the dome over it just because it's a different atmosphere.
Right.
A lot more racing at Chili Bowl though.
Yeah.
We're talking about like Saturday, it's all day, and versus you got just a few hours of racing at the dome, but a lot of racing going on. The place is packed. It's fun though.
Like I know a few people at both places, you
Yeah.
know, in Chile. I mean, I want to go to the dome too.
Yeah. Anytime that you can go racing and it's indoors, I think that's badass. You know.
Yeah.
I'd like to go to the Tulsa Shootout at some point.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of cars at that one. I just don't know enough about open wheel stuff. You know, you can't. It's harder to get into it. Like Owen's like, who you got in this race? And I'm just like, I don't know any of these people. I was going for names that looked like a race car driver's name. You know, the Kill Yarbrils of the whoever was in that heat. You know, but yeah, that's what I was doing because I didn't know. I just don't know a bunch of those guys, and then I don't know. I can't tell the difference between a lot of their cars. Some of them have some that stand out quite a bit, and some, if they're all black, I can't see.
Right.
I've been drinking. I don't know who any of these people are. You know.
Not only that, I would imagine there's a lot of cars, teams that have more than one car, and they got drivers in there that are not regular. Yeah, I know there's a ton of guys come to the Chili Bowl that just don't normally run that type of stuff. You know, so even if you see a familiar car, it might not be a familiar driver in there.
Right. Like Kyle Larson's car was, it was a different one, and it's not the same numbers that I usually see him in, and I recognize him in. Just a bunch of stuff like that. You don't. There's teams that all their cars look pretty much the same, and that's how I could tell that the Keith Coops cars, they all kind of got the same curve on them or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, which one is he? I'm going to root for him this race because he's probably going to win it. But, I don't know. It's a pretty cool race, though. A lot of people there. I got to meet the mystery man that's always hiding in the background of the flow racing deal. We talked about him on the way up there. It turns out he was sitting like right by us.
Yeah, I saw you posted a picture with him in the background of one of your pictures. A few of your pictures.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool. He's a real nice guy. I didn't realize that's who he was. At first, he was asking me about my camera because I had that 360 up. And then he was like, is that a camera? I'm like, yeah, bullshit. And then I was like, that's the mystery guy. That's the guy. And I was like, oh, shit. But, super nice guy, though.
Racing Ricky says he went to the Dome and the Chili Bowl on Wednesday.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so he was there at Chili Bowl the same time you were.
Oh, yeah. But I didn't see him. I didn't go in the pits this time. It's the only time I've ever been in the pits. The only time I've got to sit on the front straightaway side. I kind of like that view a little bit.
You got thrown out of the Dome, right?
Yeah, I did get thrown out of the Dome.
Yeah.
But they kindly took my media pass, and then I had to just wander around in the stands without a seat. Tell somebody to let me had an extra seat that they loaned me, but yeah, it happens to me, I guess.
Right, yeah.
I don't know if anybody else has ever got that situation happen to them. But
I'm sure somebody has.
yeah, well, I tend to fuck up a little bit sometimes. Where did you find your toboggan at? I see a dog on it. It's got a pig on it. This is Mint Pig Racing. Dave Donahue, Donaz, my good buddy over in Australia. He gave this to me when I was over there racing. So
Speaking of that, we watched the final episode of Billy Down Under. And
yeah,
that was good. It was
Yeah,
pretty cool, the racing part of it and all that, and that was super neat.
Yeah. Last episode was last night, and there was a lot of the racing and stuff on there, and it was real good. Xander, he kicked ass on putting that all together, and I mean we sat there. He videoed everything, and just kept putting stuff on there and putting it all. I said, I don't know how you're gonna figure out what's what.
Yeah.
I was like, are you labeling like where these go and stuff? And he was like, no, I know about where everything's at. I'm like, there's not a damn way you're gonna know that by the time you do it. So some of them didn't get edited until like the week before.
Yeah.
You know, the week before they come out. So I'm like, oh man, there's no way I could do that much footage. I can edit a 1 minute video that's gonna take me half the day.
That's, yeah.
You know, and that's just me trying to clip it down.
When I used to try and do a lot of YouTube stuff, the longer content stuff, I mean, I would be out in the shop because that's where my good computer's at, working on it, and it'd be 3 a.m, and I'd still be out there trying to get stuff. So I was working through the day, a lot of times filming what I was working on or whatever, and then try and get it edited up at night, and it was just it was a wreck.
It's a lot to it. And people don't understand that. Like with the TikTok ban thing going on, and everybody's like, well, I guess everybody needs to go to that other app, Indeed, and all this stuff. It's like y'all don't understand how much work goes into doing the videos and stuff. There's a lot to it. What are you saying? Where hamsters live before the pet store. He's got a good point.
I've never seen a hamster in the wild.
I've never seen a wild chicken either. You know what I mean? I've never seen that.
Right? Yeah. Like, game chickens, I guess, would be close, but they're still never.
Yeah.
They're never just running in the wild. You see wild turkeys.
I seen a game chicken one time just playing Monopoly.
Google says they're found in the grasslands of Europe and Asia.
This guy here's trying to bring some knowledge to us.
Yeah, well, definitely. And being from TikTok, like maybe the hamsters are what's actually taking our knowledge. Like maybe they're over here gathering knowledge on everybody instead of like TikTok. The hamster's been around here for years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know a whole lot about hamsters. I don't know if you can. Are they made of ham? Why are they hamsters?
I don't know. I've never tried to eat one.
I don't know.
I do know if you ever want to listen to a funny story, if you look up on YouTube, Armageddon gerbil.
Armageddon gerbil.
Yeah, just look that up and scroll through. It's a radio show that did a news story about a gerbil, and we won't get into the goings on that happened to it, but I'm telling you, it made me laugh until I cried the first time I ever listened to it. So it's craziness.
What the hell? I remember this is like late '90s when we first got a computer and internet. I guess we had a computer before that, but it was like the floppy disk, like this big. But there was the Joe cartoon and the frog in the blender, and then you had the hamsters. I don't remember what the hell the hamsters were. I always think of that hamsters was that dude's cartoon stuff. It was so ridiculous.
So let's mention Skinny's Automotive.
Skinny's Automotive.
We didn't bring his thing up here, but I do see it's on the back of the computer
it's
right
on
there. So
he's on the little flyer too. You can't. I mean, what can you not say about Skinny's Automotive? Right. Skinny, he just had his chili cook-off.
Yeah.
For the chili bowl.
Yeah, my mom was there. My mom actually was there, and I don't know if she was fibbing a little bit.
Yeah.
Or not, but she said she got dead last in the chili cook-off.
And that don't mean it's bad.
Somebody has to get dead last, but like people show up. He gets a lot of people that bring chili to his chili cook-off, and all you get is one of my trophies. I mean, it's not, but it's it's a thing to have if you're around there. If you're in that circle and you have one, then it's a thing to have, you know.
Right.
And but so often we brag on his food and all that stuff, but do take your vehicles by there. That's what makes him a living.
Oh yeah. We're talking about the chili, but yeah, he definitely. If you're around Bakersfield, California, bring your ride over there. Let him work on it.
He has knowledge how to do it. He has guys there that know the newer stuff, but what he really enjoys is the classic hot rods. He likes working on that stuff, and
yeah, definitely.
He's of that era and enjoys them. Enjoys building nice cars and making them run good and all that stuff.
That Mustang he's got's nice.
Yeah,
I'm not a Mustang guy, but that thing is pretty damn nice.
Yeah, he's got Mustangs are his deal, and he's. I don't know that we've ever talked about it, but he's the Burnout King. On a lot of his work shirts, that's all it says. Some say skinny, some say the Burnout King on it. But
So he goes through tires pretty regularly.
Yes, they had an actual contest when the old Mesa Moran was running out there, and where the Craftsman's Truck first race ever was. But they had contests out there yearly, and he has his Mustang so balanced that, and it locks in the rear, so he's spinning both tires, and he can turn his front tires, and the caster in it loads it enough that he can make nice slow circles, like he can figure eight back and forth and just annihilate a set of tires. But yeah, he's also the Burnout King. So
oh shit. Yeah, my buddies that have the Journey HQ. They're on TikTok, YouTube, and shit. They're building a burnout truck, and because they usually do it in their truck. They got a square body. It's got LS in it with twin turbos that stick out of the hood.
yeah.
Real sweet, badass truck. And I know they've done a bunch of burnout contests and stuff with that thing. And I think they don't want to tear that one up, so they're building them another one just for doing the burnout contest. I think of a bunch of cars and stuff. So I'm interested to see what that's going to look like.
Cause you blow a tire every now and then.
Yeah. I've seen them catch on fire.
They come, yeah.
I see them sitting there doing the burnouts, and then like the whole motor starts glowing, and they're like fire coming out of the exhaust. I'm not that dumb. I might get kicked out of the dome, but I'm not that dumb.
So anyway, get by Skinny's Automotive if you get a chance, if you're out there in California.
Definitely.
And if he only makes it back here for the 600, come find us at 600 and get good food.
Oh yeah, definitely come by and get something to eat if he's here for
and entertainment.
Just entertainment. He's very very funny and not just knowledgeable guy, and he's there for a good time.
Yeah,
which I'm also there for a good time.
Yeah,
I just got a race, so.
Right. Yeah.
Unfortunately, you know.
Yeah. That's what makes part of it fun, though.
Yeah. You know, but sometimes I'm a little too hungover.
That's the stories, though, man. That's I've had people that I raced against that didn't. His girlfriend was a bartender, and he used to tell her not to get me too drunk. And did that click off?
I think so. What is it?
Maybe I didn't.
It's blue.
Yeah, it might not even be recording.
Look. Yeah, there you go. This is our first day.
Yeah. So, anyway, it's just hanging down there in a way.
We're not getting near as much interactions we did last week or whatever.
Well, we've been off and we've been on, and so that makes it.
Well, everybody's playing in the snow, I think.
Yeah, maybe so.
I don't know.
Yeah, that makes it tougher. We used to have poker games, and we'd try and have them like the first Thursday or whatever of ever. Never worked. You either had to have them every week or just don't even try. Because it's just, if you didn't get people into a regular thing, they're coming and doing it. So
yeah, well.
that's probably a lot like what we got going here.
Yeah, we're trying to be consistent, but like just with the holidays and being sick, I've been sick a couple times. and this and
Health
that.
issues,
Yeah,
little this and that, and
it's hard to keep up with, but
we'll get back on a roll, and we'll have a little more racing to talk about too. Because
right. We'll get us some more guests and stuff going when more people are got time and that sort of thing, and
want to step out of the house and show up here. Not
Yeah.
everybody even wants to come out in this cold.
well, yeah, that and then like we live in a good spot, but like nobody ever comes out to my place really, unless they also live out in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
Because I live out in the middle of nowhere, and then there's like the nearest racers like you or Colton and Denny. So, and that's it.
We got Brandon Ryan. He's a cool comedian that he wants to come on here, and that I think that'll be a
Oh yeah,
super fun.
Yeah, we need to get him on here and let him ask us a bunch of questions about racing that he doesn't know. You know, because man, hell, if you don't know anything about it, you're gonna have some good questions. I think he definitely would. He's a funny guy.
Yeah, and hopefully he'll do a couple bits for us. It's always hard to put somebody on the spot, but if we warned him ahead of time, surely he'd show up. With
I'm sure he'll have something loaded anyway.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, he'll be funny on here. We need to. I keep forgetting to remind you, to remind him, to remind us that he wants to come on.
Right.
But,
I just figured, like I said, with it being so cold right now, and
yeah.
we get back out in the shop and where it's a little more comfortable, and
Holy shit, it's way cold out there right now. I'm not built for it. I'm just not built for the cold. People can say whatever they want up north. Down here, the humidity makes it colder for whatever reason. It's just I've been up north where it was way colder than this, but it didn't feel this cold.
yeah,
It don't make no damn sense.
yeah.
I don't know nothing about temperature differences in the same, and the mixture of it, and the atmospheric pressures and whatnot.
Yeah, I don't either.
I know that song "Weatherman" by Hank Williams Jr. But that's about as far as I go with weather knowledge.
Yeah.
I don't even look at the forecast usually. I'm like, oh, it's raining outside. You know, if we're going racing, that's when I look at the weather.
Yeah. Yep. 100%. We had you sent me a little deal, and I actually saw it the other day too. The Highway 19, they're getting their, which is kind of our local track.
Yeah.
They're getting their deal lined out and getting ready for the year to start.
Yeah.
We have. We were just discussing the enduros that we were going to make or not make, and I'm hoping to make them all. I don't know if I crash. We got them 2 weeks in a row, which is a little bit of a bummer, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to do it.
There's so much maintenance that goes on after an enduro. It's not like a normal weekly deal because
Right.
everything's worn out.
Yeah.
Like there's sometimes you got to change every ball joint on the car. You know,
Yeah.
there's bushings you got to change. You need new spring shocks need to be redone. I mean, it's a lot of shit you're putting on a car if you do well.
Right.
And if you don't do well and you get wrecked, then it's still a lot of shit to do.
Right, yeah.
You know? So, it's just that you blow a motor and if you ain't got a spare, you're kind of screwed, especially having to pay that entry fee ahead of time, you know? But, I might not have the wagon at the solo race because I'm doing it for sure, but I might be running Jesse's car that he usually runs at the Enduros because he's driving Dad's car. So the wagon's kind of out right now. It's a little beat up from the 600, and I need to rebuild the transmission and all this stuff. And so we're talking about just swapping some stuff around. I got what his car needs, so
Yeah.
it would be easier just to hop in that one and swap the seat out. So I think that might be what we do. So. I don't know. We'll see what it's like here in a few weeks.
That's mine. Mine needs a water pump and a good nut and bolt check. The water pump went out after the 600. Well, what's crazy? It went out in the front yard out here, like moving it around. I just happened to notice that it was,
Thank God.
leaking water. And that's what happens. running junkyard stuff. I might actually get a new one for it.
I would actually get a new one for the Tahoe, and I'd take the one off the Tahoe and put on there.
No, that's way too much work. Because I have 2 old ones. I've been on junkyard motors. I have them sitting out there, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna go.
Slack.
I'm gonna go ahead and get a good one for it. Probably so. I was talking to somebody today, and they were like, "Did you change head gaskets after it got hot?" And I'm like, "Absolutely not. It doesn't show any signs of them leaking. I'm not tearing it apart. I'm not."
Those LS's got those badass head gaskets.
Yeah.
They're reusable.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't worry about that shit.
Yeah. I'm just like, it's not pushing any water out anywhere other than the water pump right now. And, but. So I'm not.
Just fill that little hole with silicone.
Yeah.
A little weep hole with silicone. It'd be alright.
I had one I ran on the Tahoe, and I just kept putting stop leak in it, and it went an amazingly long time. Yeah, you had to put water in it every week, once a week. You had to do, but yeah.
I did that with mine actually. And then by the time it was done, you take the radiator cap off, and it was like a turd coming so much stop leak. I put so much stop leak on there. I could have just went ahead and bought a water pump.
Right. Sometimes you don't feel like changing that stuff though.
Fuck it, you gotta. I just hate having to take the fan shroud off.
Yeah.
On those, no real good reason for it. I just hate having to do it. It's not that hard.
Yeah. So, but yeah. Anyway, we're gonna try and make it. And if something goes real bad wrong, we got these other chassis sitting around here. We'll see. When I was young,
if you need to get something done, just do it last minute. So
right.
We can always get something ready.
When I was young, me and a friend of mine, we put a car together for him in a week from a bare chassis that had never been assembled.
Yeah.
And he went and raced it. Just him and I. He had all the parts and all the. I mean, I just don't. A little older now.
Yeah, you get the motivation now. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I don't have them long nights, but
I did that. I pulled a car out of the weeds. We got it together in a week for another enduro that they used to have on 4th of July, and I drug it out, and I didn't have doors or nothing for it, and I put a body on a limited. And I took the old doors out of the scrap pile and sheet metal screwed it because I didn't have rivets. And then Charles had a motor and transmission come out of a pickup. It was red and yellow, like Hulk Hogan truck or something.
Right.
I don't know. And we put it in there with a quadrijet. I don't know, there wasn't nothing special done about it. I mean, I think it even had the clutch fan and stuff. And with like turbo 350, I think. Went out and did really good. I was one spot out of the money, and the only reason I went out there and started running like shit. So I pulled in, and Jesse's not driving. It was me and Jared racing, and he just grabs the distributor, turns it until it starts running good, tightens it back down, and sends me back out. And I didn't know it. He does the same thing to Jared's car. I don't know if we just did not have our timing right or what the deal, but he did that to both of our cars. And me and Jerry go out there and just start flying, and then it was just one of those races where there wasn't a lot of people getting out, and probably between that and probably 20 laps to go, I got hit and broke a trailing arm or something, and we just called it a day. And then we started drinking a lot of beer. And, yeah,
say it didn't suck.
I know it's it's out of character, but they had their own. They had the track or the promoters of it cooked for everybody, and then had coolers of beer, and they had some live music and stuff there. So we're walking up with our beer, and we're like, "Oh shit, they got them coolers!" So one of us run back, put the beer up, and we drink all their beer, and then we go back and drink all of our beer. Oh man, it rained its ass off that night in the pits. I had my school bus then, barely made it out of that place. That old black clay.
Yeah.
I was
Talking about beer, when I drove my enduro car for Jerry Pedro, he took really good care of us always, and we had a big, huge white ice chest, and he would just beer it down, man. He he'd buy cases of beer and throw in a huge ice chest. And we didn't drink it all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, rarely did we drink it all, and we had people would come to our pits and everything, but he bought a lot of beer, and he spent a lot of money on. So sometimes if we didn't race for 2 or 3 weeks, the beers that were left, them 10, 15 beers that were left, would be pretty foul down there. We'd just leave them down there on the bottom. We wouldn't change them out and dig them out of there, nothing. We just throw fresh ones and fresh ice on it, and every now and then you get down toward the bottom of that, and people would be like, "Oh man, that one's sorry." Yeah, just throw that one away and get another one.
Yeah, what was the first in? You can't even read what kind of beer it is.
Yeah.
All the old cans be all worn out.
Coors Light, it was silver anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, I've gotten some like that. Or you end up leaving some beer in a cooler. Even if it's cold, like the beer might taste good still, but the old cooler got that water in the cooler got nasty, and it's like slimy.
Yeah,
it's like
slimy, and you can smell it on your way to your face.
Yeah, what is this fish? Like, what is this fucking sick? Yeah, that's the worst. That's the worst thing you can do to beer.
And along with Skinny's Automotive, we got Jordan Wagley here on TikTok.
Yep.
Follow her.
Yeah, make sure you follow her on TikTok.
So she can be a TikTok star.
She's trying to get TikTok famous.
And so we get her here. You can hear more of her enticing conversation.
Yeah, a lot of dialogue.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of things to say. Yeah, make sure you follow her on TikTok. Glad to see Lee back in action.
Yeah.
Misty.
Somebody says, "Hey, girl."
That's Jordan's
Are
people.
you talking to me?
That's Jordan's people.
Yeah, I'm not talking to me.
So, anyway, yeah. Thank you, Christy.
Yeah. Yeah, man, fucking, what else we got going on? There was something else going on.
Just trying to get
Shit. I'm putting a body on the guy's car right now. I'm about halfway done with that. I'm done with most of the shit that takes forever.
I have a boat I'm doing modifications to that I got to get out of the way so I can get the car back in. Sometimes I have to do work.
Yeah, that sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah. Takes up the space, so but we're glad to have it and all that. But yeah, we got cars to get ready. I got cars to get ready. You got cars to get ready.
Yeah.
Jesse's got cars to get ready.
Yeah. Dad's car's almost ready for the Enduros. And then I think he's gonna try running at Summit Highway 19. Hopefully.
I'm gonna wreck him.
I'm not even gonna race with him. I'm not getting my feelings hurt. You know what I mean? Dad's way better driver than me. And then yeah, we got Jesse's factory stock in the shop. We're gonna work on it. We think we know what's going on with the timing moving on it, so we're gonna get that fixed. And weird thing is the timing chain cover we think is moving. You know, everything in the motor is moving forward, and I think that it's moving that cam forward. I mean, it doesn't matter what else we've done to it. It don't make no sense. Dad's like, I've never had a motor do this.
Yeah, I had to.
He hasn't. I mean, he's been racing for like nearly 50 years. So
Sometime, and I can't remember who it was, but sometime in my racing career, I've seen somebody with a piece of strap welded across the front of the cam gear cover to keep it from flexing out like that. And I don't know, they might have had a problem like that, you know.
But it's got to be like after my uncle, which he's a drag racer and old motor builder and stuff. He's pretty slick on that stuff. He was telling us about that, and then we going around to some of the other motors we got sitting in the shop, and they're not like they're running, but they might be blown up or whatever. But the timing chain cover is bent right there.
Yeah.
Even an aluminum timing chain cover. And then the one on Jesse's car is just a little thin metal one. It could just be, if it's not the crow's foot, it could be just bowing in and out, which would be probably totally fine for a stock truck.
Right.
But once you're getting up over 5,000 to 6,000 RPMs, that's when we're having the issues. So I'm guessing that's probably what it is. So hopefully we can get that fixed and he can hit up a lot more races this year. I know he's got his daughter coming in April, so probably April it'll be real hard for him to go racing. Although we did go to the Fred Lobster like the weekend right after Blaze was born, so I don't know. I don't know much that'll stop him, but.
Talking about your dad racing, and when I was like, I knew, you know, like I was getting older and whatever, and I was racing the sport mods, and one of my favorite things used to be, like, I feel like I know when I got a car that'll win.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you're just like, oh, we missed it tonight, you know, but still had a decent car. But I used to give the younger guys hell.
Yeah.
And that, like, if I wasn't battling and going forward, like, every now and then I'd get them young guys that kind of come in there and thought they were this or that. And I wouldn't wreck them, but I would make life hard on them. Like, I rush them into the corner a little faster than they wanted to go. I do this, do that, you know. And the one night there was, I'm not going to mention him by name, but I pestered him pretty much all the last half of a race or so, you know.
Yeah.
And on the white flag lap, I think he just, maybe he thought that I was actually trying to win or whatever, make a spot. And at that time, by that time, I was getting joy out of just pestering him. And he just rips it in gets the white flag, goes into turn one, drives it in there way too deep and just spins it out all by himself. And I was like, well, man, you didn't have to do that. But that used to be, I don't know, it was like a rite of passage for the young guys sometimes if my stuff wasn't just right.
What a dick move.
Yeah, it was fun though. You'll do it someday.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm usually the guy that spins out on the last lap. You know, that's usually me. Don't laugh at that. Or on a restart. I'll spin out leading on a restart too.
I have seen it. I've witnessed that firsthand.
Yeah.
Somehow the camera footage missed it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He had his camera on my car.
What a coincidence.
So we witnessed it firsthand.
Yeah. Crazy.
Gets green flag, spins out, then they put him right back in front of me. And I'm like, okay.
I didn't spin all the way out. I mean, I kind of cut through the infield, but hey, the right rear was almost flat. I'm gonna
if you didn't spin all the way out, though, they should have just left it green and let me go on. I might have wanted.
Oh, the caution was out before I got back out of the infield. I don't know. I don't know what happened there.
It was
but I've had other stuff happen there, and I was like, all right, they owed me that one.
It's Highway 19, and we're friends, and it's like, it's just the way things.
He ended up pull back in. Jesse's like, yeah, I was going to come congratulate Lee on his heat race win. You fucked him on that one. My bad, you know.
And please don't think I'm bad mouthing Highway 19, but I often get the vibe from there. The Vegas vacation where he goes to the casino and they're just playing the game like pick a number between 1 and 10 and behind your back and stuff like that. And I love racing there, but and they're doing great stuff. But just every once in a while, some of the things that go on there, you're like, okay,
all right. One time I started on the pole. I started front row outside, and got in the wreck immediately coming off turn there. We got pushed or whatever. We got stuck in the wall. Get put back off, and then they're all wrecked. We made like half another lap, and everybody piled up next turn. And they said complete restart. So I get my spot, and they said, no, you got a second row inside. What? Yeah. Which worked out because the guy in front of me pushed again, and they pushed up, and I went under them and went on. I ended up winning the race, but I was like, how's it complete restart? And I'm not even on the same road.
Right.
But whatever. And you know, like if it wouldn't have been that way, I might not have gotten the lead. You know, I don't know. But
I think I'm going to take them a trophy up there to at least take a picture with. there's a bit of a business venture behind it too, because they can take their picture holding the track trophy, and then if they want to buy one, they can get a hold of me and get a trophy for that.
They've done the checks there for a while because I got a few of them, but I didn't win last year, so I don't know what they're giving out.
I don't really see anything in the pictures. That's why I thought it'd be fun.
I like the checks just because you can hang them on a wall in the shop, or I've seen people lining their trailer with them. And then like I've got a bunch of trophies, and I know you won a bunch of races, and you always just give them away.
Right.
But the trophies are just like, I live in a tiny house. There's nowhere to put them.
Right, yeah.
I don't even have them in there. I don't know where to put them.
Yeah. But I thought it'd be, I think I'll do that. It'd just be whoever wins, they can get their picture with it. Because a lot of times that's all you want anyway, is a picture and be holding the trophy and then leave it there for the next guy.
Just as a suggestion, it's called Highway 19. If you made something like a road sign,
yeah,
said winner or something, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. That's kind of, I thought, I'd do the Texas and the 19, like the
hell yeah,
like the road sign with it, and then we'll put Speedway or something on it. We'll do something.
I don't know if anybody else does this a bunch. I know a lot of people probably do, but like some tracks are named after the town they're in, like Bakersfield.
Yeah.
Or the road they're on. Like there's the Highway 19 and there's I-37 here in Texas and things like that. But usually I call tracks wherever the hell they're at. I think one of the only tracks that I don't do that is like Boot Hill.
Yeah.
It's always been Boot Hill. But like there's in Greenville, Texas, there's Hunt County. Well, it used to be called Super Bowl. I've always called it Greenville.
Yeah.
That's what it's called. And then, you go to, there's 105, which it's the highway. You can call them the highway, that's 105. And then, like South Texas, South Texas Race Ranch, we're still like in normal conversation, we're still calling it Corpus.
Yeah.
It's the only track there.
Yeah.
And in like Heart of Texas, I always go Waco. It was asking me about the end earlier. There's one in Waco, and then there's one in Arklatex, which is the name of the track. But I don't know. It just don't sound right to call it Vivian.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe it's a Louisiana thing. If it's in Louisiana, I have to call it by the name.
Right.
I don't know, but that's something I always do. I just call them by wherever town they're in.
Yep. Yeah, which they're out there on the West Coast. Most of them, now that I'm thinking about it, like we were on at Bakersfield and Tulare and Chowchilla, those were all town names anyway. So
Yeah.
it was all just whatever town named Speedway,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like it makes more sense to name it something like that. But like, we go to Buffalo Creek or Highway 19, I'll either call it Buffalo Creek or Canton more often than not.
Yeah.
Or I just call it the creek, write it down the creek.
Yeah, I call it Canton a lot.
Yeah.
What a fun little track though, and I'm glad that
It is a
they're
lot of fun.
keeping it alive up there, and I don't mean anything derogatory.
It's my favorite place to race, just because it's fun to run at. I mean, it doesn't matter what's going on. I have fun on the track, whether I'm not doing that well or not.
Yeah.
It's just a fun track, The only time I don't do bad is my car handles like shit.
Yeah.
And that's not the track's fault,
When I left, when we were getting ready for the Lone Star 600, like I got my payout. They pay you cash, and which doesn't happen out in California a whole lot. And they pay you cash. Yeah. Oh no, they mail you checks, everything.
How the hell do you get gas on the way home?
Yeah. That's why they're struggling to get with car counts out there, right?
Yeah, the only time I ever had checks was when I was doing like a series or something.
I had, I'm getting off subject, but we went to Pahrump, Nevada one time for a 2-day big show, IMCA. It wasn't IMCA's race, it was IMCA cars. We got there, they cut purses and everything because their car count went down. And I ended up selling fuel to have enough money to get back out of that place. I was lucky I had a sponsor that sponsored me methanol.
Yeah.
And they didn't have any fuel there at the track, you know, and I mean, I told him what went on. He was a good guy, funny, and I'm like, dude, I ended up selling the methanol just to get enough fuel to get back to California. Come back and drove in Merced the next night, but yeah, it was.
I've done similar stuff with the merch. Like, luckily, I learned to start just bringing stuff. Like, I'd sell enough to pay my pit pass and stuff, and then I have enough money, you know, whatever, you know. I mean, that's how you're diehard when you're going there and you're like, I've got to do good.
Yeah.
We're not making it back to the house.
But when at Highway 19, the last time I left the pay window there, and I told her, I said, no, I'm not going to be back this year because we're going to run that enduro, and I need some time to work on get the car all freshened up and all that. But I want you guys to know that I'll be back. It's nothing that happened here, you know, because I don't know if it might not even be a second thought, but just in case they were like,
"What, mad at us?"
Yeah, is he mad at us or what? Well, no, I wasn't mad. You know, I just I needed a few weeks to.
Well, I love running there, and they know it, and I've had to tell them, you know, I don't race every weekend. I can't afford it, and I got a lot of other shit that goes on the weekends sometimes. You know what I mean? Like I was saying earlier, there was like 2 months last year where I wasn't home any weekend. You know, I went to Australia for 2 weeks, and then, you know, there was other tracks that I was going to. Plus, we like going to some of the big shows.
Yeah.
So it's hard to make every week. You know, even if it's every other week type of situation, sometimes shit just don't line up. But I like having there because they're close. It's about an hour or 5 minutes from the house, and I can say, hey, let's go racing this weekend. And we go. And
that I think we made about every race once we got started racing there.
We got like third in points, I think.
We didn't. I don't know.
I think they posted their points.
Fifth, third.
Yeah, somewhere up there. I got 9th in factory and Texas stock, I think. So I ran about the same amount of races in both, I think.
And so that was cool, and we're ready to go back.
Yeah, I'm ready to go back too. I'm ready to get the 199 back out and rolling, and a few more little updates to it. I think we're gonna work on that firewall and stuff, and try to get it a little faster. It's not like it's slow, but it could definitely be faster. Just a heavy car.
I got a lower gear to put in the enduro car to run in Texas stock, so I think that's going to help me out.
That's going to help you a bunch.
Quite a bit there.
Yeah,
so
going to help a bunch.
Just bogging it around. Everybody was always up there scraping the outside walls.
You didn't have a choice. You hear everybody, what?
Grunting around there. But
it worked out though.
Yeah. No, yeah, we had fun and definitely got that car handling good for the enduro when we went down to the 600.
I think it's important to run your enduro cars out there at least a few times because more often than not you're going to run into some bugs.
Yeah.
In a place like Highway 19, they don't have a huge car count, so you can go out there and make your own pace and just make some good laps and be competitive. You can go out there and make all the laps by yourself if you want. You don't know how fast you're going to be compared to everybody else. So.
And that's a fun part. That Texas stock division is such a diverse division because anything fits. As long as it's got an 8-inch wheel on it, it's good basically. Yeah. And if you start in the back, you can just race yourself up till you find somebody to race with. And I think probably Larry Dean and and even his car, he had somebody else drive it a couple times, but he was the guy that I most got with there and had good fun races with.
I was just struggling to turn all year. I said, fuck that car finally. Yeah. I had tried too many setups on it and it's still not wanting to work. It's just bent too many times. We had a good race a time or two. Yeah. Until
your shit wouldn't turn.
Oh shit!
As long as you keep it turning, then all of a sudden you go down in there and it just.
Well, I got to go super slow to make it work, and it just the everything else about the car is not like that. So I could make it do the turn. I couldn't make it down the straightaway.
Yeah.
I'm like, son of a bitch. Yeah, I don't know. Colton has the rear end out of it. I'm slowly going to take it apart, but.
That one time I come in and I'm like, I don't know what's sparking on your right front, but there is like, it looked like a fireworks under
We
there.
thought it was something else, and then I looked at it and it was the damn tire was rubbing the shock when I turned. And I was like, well, that's one problem.
Yeah.
I think the last time I drove it was a lot better, but it was still, I'm over it. I can't have any damn cars anyway.
Right.
That's the deal. I shouldn't have to pull a motor transmission out of one car to run another one. Let's just keep it to two and.
See, but then you pass that on to me, so now I got one coming together, and then one we're gonna put together for the kids to drive too, so.
Yeah. So, like, the wagon, I wanna get it, and bring it out there a few times this year, once I get it back going. I don't know, the old wagon's getting kind of worn out a little bit, but I mean, that thing's, it's been a race car for probably 10 years, no, probably 15 years, I think,
Yeah.
from what I know.
Right.
From what I know, it started out as an asphalt car, and they cut the cage, moved it back, and then it was a dirt car for a while, and of course, and then, then I got it. That was up until like 2017, and then I got it in like 2020, or I think. I can't even remember. But then I've been running. I've got 2,500 laps on it.
Yeah.
That's just enduros. That doesn't include the weekly races that I ran. So it's like, the cars. It's got to be getting tired. And you know what's crazy about it? I've not changed one spring. I had the shocks gone through once. But I've changed one spring. So I've got it. There's a lot to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've changed a bunch of stuff. All the front end stuff's been changed at some point. It's got a different rear end and different trailing arms. And, I keep up with it, but also just the frame. It's got to be flexing.
Yeah.
It's got to be getting some cracks in it.
My car is a leaf spring car, and back when we were racing it, it got new leaf springs in it often. Well, we got them re-arched from a guy named David Hayes, who was awesome at it. And I later drove for David, and he would re-arch ours every third race.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, you could feel the difference in it once I got there with him, because before we'd go 6 races or whatever. But when he started doing it every third race, like, I just started noticing, I'm like, holy cow, the side bite was the thing. It wasn't necessarily forward bite. Side bite was what we got out of that. And I just laugh now because it just sits like it's got the same springs in it that it probably had in 2007 or something, and it just sits out here in the front yard, probably annoys the shit out of my neighbors because it's way out in the front, sitting flat on the ground. And
well, it's not as beat up as it was, so it's probably not annoying them as bad as it was.
Right, yeah, that's true.
Hey, I can see that thing pulling in better than your sign.
Yeah.
Like that showed, like when I pull in, that's what I'm looking for usually.
Now I need to make my next sign to match it, maybe.
Cow print.
Yeah. I don't know about the cow print.
Well, it's been about an hour. We had a comment in a little while, so I say let's shut her down.
Let's do it.
Let's and get something to eat, and we'll do this shit next week.
All right. Thank you all that did show up, and we'll try and get back on track.
Bye, guys.